Hello, today I will start with 3 fascinating facts related to our topic, and at the end I will expand on them. First one, magnesium is involved in over 300 processes in human body. Second one, ATP, our energy molecule, is working only if the magnesium is present. So no magnesium, no energy. And a third one, magnesium is central atom in chlorophyll, which is the molecule that makes plants green. And this fact is actually critical for human survival as well. Now, let's get to the main topic. You keep hearing about it from all sides. You guess that it's probably fairly important. Everybody needs it for energy production, digestion, nervous system functioning, sleep, recovery. However, it's just too much. There is just too much information, too many angles, many times contradicting, and many times they are trying to sound unnecessarily too scientific, which obviously just adds to the confusion. My name is Paolo, and in this video I will break down magnesium, focus on the important parts and simplify it. We will organize it, put it all into categories, so at the end of the video you will have a clear understanding of what type, how much, when and why. So you don't waste money, energy, time and effort on stuff that you don't even need. Magnesium is essential mineral, which means that our body can't produce it, we need to get it from outside, and it's a micronutrient, which means that we don't need that much, but even the small amount can have major impact. Magnesium is everywhere. In nature, it can be found in water, soil, even though in soil it's way less than it used to be, and plants absorb it, especially leafy greens where it's part of chlorophyll. That's why sources like spinach, seeds, nuts are good natural sources. In this food, magnesium is already bound to different compounds. It can be the chlorophyll or some amino acids, which makes it easier for body to take it and absorb it. Before supplements will even come into play, magnesium is something we were supposed to and we theoretically can get from natural sources. Here you can see a table with amount of food that it would take to get 400 milligrams of magnesium. 250 to 400 milligrams is commonly recommended range. It is depending on size and a couple of other factors, but as a reference point, it's sufficient. 80 grams of pumpkin seed will give you 400 milligrams of magnesium. 180 grams of dark chocolate, it should be about 80-85%, 160 grams of cashews and so on. There are also sources that are moderately high, for example avocado, bananas, where we are getting to a point where it's probably not really realistic to get all the magnesium you need just from these. Overall, we can get magnesium from natural sources, we would just need to use the combination of these foods if we are really after it. Let's just assume that we need to take magnesium as a supplement. There is one big problem that needs to be addressed first. In natural food, the magnesium is attached to some kind of agent that is helping it to get to the body and to be absorbed. The human body is optimized to do it this way, to break down magnesium from natural sources. However, in supplements, we are using something called chelated version. It is lab-created compounds produced to stabilize magnesium and increase bioavailability, which means for magnesium to be in a form that it can be absorbed by body, as the pure elemental mineral is too unstable. This is where all the possible forms and types of magnesium are coming from. It is not telling a story about magnesium itself. That is the same. It is what kind of agent is used to transfer it to the body, because with different agents, different compounds, comes different challenges and possible side effects. The form of magnesium, whether it's glycinate, threonate or all the possible forms, will determine absorption speed, absorption amount, where in the body will magnesium actually end up, and most importantly, what kind of negative side effects might come with it. So now we'll go one by one, breaking the most common forms, and we will talk about their benefits, possible downsides, and the quality you are actually getting, whether it's even worth it. Magnesium glycinate or bisglycinate, they are the same, it's just a different name because there are two glycines that are binding the magnesium. That's why the more correct term is bisglycinate, but it's the same. Glycinate, bisglycinate, absolutely the same. It mainly affects the nervous system and muscles, mostly helps with relaxation, reducing stress and supporting better sleep. It is one of the forms that is absorbed the best. The only downside here is that some people are reporting mild stomach discomfort. Magnesium citrate is magnesium bound to citric acid. It primarily acts in the digestive system, helps with constipation because it pulls water into the intestine, which makes it more watery. And the downsides are mostly in dosages. If it's too high, it just leads to loose stool and strong diarrhea. Magnesium oxide is the form that is very widely used because it's one of the cheapest ways how to produce it, but it's also one of the least efficient one. There is very low absorption in the body, and the only real benefit, it can be used as a short-term digestive relief. But because there is poor absorption, often it's causing stomach discomfort, gas, and also diarrhea. Magnesium malate can be very good for athletes. It supports energy production at a cellular level. It can help reduce fatigue and muscle soreness. Generally, it is fairly well tolerated, but in some cases, it might also lead to mild upset of the stomach. Magnesium L-threonate is designed to cross blood-brain barrier, so it can get directly to the brain, which is unsurprisingly leading to improvement in brain and nervous system activity. It supports memory, learning, and cognitive function. It can be more expensive, and some people report mild headaches or dizziness, but that is very individual. Well, the cost is not individual, but the headaches and dizziness are. Next one, magnesium taurate, is supporting cardiovascular and nervous system. It may help with blood pressure and heart health, obviously not as a treatment, it's more like a supporting mechanism. Very little and rare side effects, maybe a little bit of dizziness or stomach discomfort. Magnesium chloride is kind of one guy's does all type of magnesium. It's very well absorbed, very versatile form, supports muscles, hydration, nerve function. It can be taken orally but also topically for muscle relaxation, and high oral doses might be causing diarrhea, so it's many times used topically, but even there, sometimes some people are sensitive and it can cause slight skin irritation, but it's nothing serious and it fades away fairly quickly. It's just something you should be aware and maybe ready for if you have more sensitive skin. And the last one is magnesium sulfate, and that is commonly known as Epsom salt. That one is only used externally. It acts through a skin and helps with muscle relaxation. It's used in baths and helps to relax muscles, reduce the tension, especially with a combination with hot water. It can have very strong laxative effect if it's taken orally. And again, for some people, it might cause some skin irritation if they are more sensitive. For most of them, of course, those that are taken orally, the dosage will be, as mentioned before, 200 or 250 up to 400 milligrams a day. The timing is really dependent on the purpose. If you are taking it for muscle relaxation or to improve your sleep, obviously you take it when you are about to go to sleep or after the training. The forms that are more oriented for activity and energy production, like malate, you want to take in the morning or before you are doing your activity. One thing that needs to be addressed is absorption, because magnesium has a lot of interactions in the body. So, for example, taking it with zinc or calcium is lowering the absorption. So that also means you should not drink milk, because there is calcium in the milk, when you are taking your magnesium, as they will kind of cancel each other and compete for absorption. So you want to avoid that. On the other hand, if you're taking vitamin B6, that helps to absorb magnesium, so that can be something that you can consider taking together, magnesium with a B complex. Regarding overdosing, it is a real thing, hypermagnesemia. However, from natural food, that's pretty much unrealistic. That's not going to happen. And if you will be mindful and not do anything crazy, follow the guidelines on the product you are getting. If you go even over the 400 mildly, because, for example, you take your supplement and then you have some food with magnesium, that's not going to do any damage. If you will take 10 times the dose that is recommended through the pills, well, then we are talking about some risks. Common symptoms would be nausea, dizziness, diarrhea, low blood pressure, and muscle weakness. But it's also important to say that if you are experiencing diarrhea, low blood pressure, and muscle weakness, there is a high chance that it's not because you overdosed with magnesium or you just ate too much food with magnesium. There might be many other factors contributing to this. The first option to look at in this case is probably not overdose of magnesium. Anybody with kidney problems or predisposition for kidney problems should be very careful with magnesium supplementation, as compromised kidneys have a hard time getting rid of magnesium and it builds up in the blood, and that is leading to all we were just talking about. So if I would have to summarize all this in few words, not all magnesium is the same. More is not better. Cheap and more available versions don't work the same as the more expensive ones. It is not absolutely necessary for everybody to supplement with magnesium, but if you, for example, have trouble sleeping or you want to relax your muscles, it's definitely worth a try. If the goal is to improve sleep, use Glycinate. If the goal is to improve brain performance and focus, use Threonate. If the goal is fatigue management and increased energy, use Malate. And for better digestion, use Citrate. Just avoid Oxide. It is the most common used form, but it's also because it's cheap, easy to make, but the effects are not really there. Thank you for watching. My name is Paolo. Send this video to 2 people. First one, somebody who you think should look at taking some magnesium. And second, somebody who is taking magnesium, but most likely they're not doing it right and they're taking the wrong form. To blow your mind even more, from the beginning we have the 3 facts. Magnesium is involved in 300 plus processes in the body. Every single movement you do, even blinking, is dependent on levels of magnesium. Stress, caffeine, alcohol, and training are all depleting magnesium, and usually it's in a way that is faster than we can get it from natural food, so the supplementation is really on place. Second one, our body energy molecule, the ATP, is really dependent on magnesium, but also in a way that you might not expect. Muscles cannot relax properly without magnesium. It is crucial and needed for this contraction-relaxation balance, as it's helping to relax. You can't just go all the time, even you might think you can. And the third one, magnesium is the central atom in chlorophyll, which is the molecule that makes plants green. And thanks to that, the photosynthesis can even happen. So without magnesium in plants, plants cannot recycle the CO2 and turn it into oxygen. So we are dependent on plant magnesium even from this perspective. And a little bonus, magnesium is named after a place in Greece called magnesia, and that's also a region which gave us word magnet. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, notes or suggestions, reach out to me. Even this topic was suggested by you, so thank you very much and see you next time.